Center. My name is Devin Graves, and thank you for coming to Literal Garbage Productions' adaptation of William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Clap Oh, gosh. Not a lot of room under there. That kept me there all weekend. Oh, it's so good to see all of your faces, especially that face and that face. And that's enough of those faces. Oh, it's delightful to see you. A couple of housekeeping things before we begin our show today. There's an exit over there for normal circumstances. There's an exit over there for other circumstances. Bathrooms over there. If you're thirsty, why not grab a drink from Robert Mueller, America's sweetheart. Important to note, different Robert Mueller, but still a very nice man. Oh, delightful. Other things. Let's see. Oh, golly, this is like the third show that we've directed here. And we are joined tonight by Missoula's media resource, MCAT. Give it up for our camera crew. MCAT is another amazing nonprofit organization here in Missoula. They are set up in the beautiful new Missoula Public Library. You can go check them out. They've got volunteer public producer trainings Saturdays at 10 a.m. I highly recommend it. You learn so much from that amazing crew. And they're here today to broadcast this show live to my one friend in Nevada. Fantastic. We're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook and all those other delightful things. So thanks again for being here. Thanks to the Zach for hosting us. Let's see, I really should know how to open up a show right now. Let me just check my notes really quick. Sorry, this is a Missoulian article that they wrote about me. Everyone's really tired and a little feisty. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so it's theater in 2021, so I'm supposed to do a land acknowledgement that this show was rehearsed, performed, and put together on the stolen lands of the Salish and Kootenai people. And with that, I'd like to invite to the stage cast member Evan Smith. Evan Smith, congratulations on a great run. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, phenomenal. How are you doing, Devin?
Oh, I'm doing great. Now, Evan, I just did the land acknowledgement. How'd it go?
Okay.
It went okay? It didn't do much, though, did it?
I'm still here and still stolen.
Oh, yeah, and just to be clear, you're a member of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes of the Flathead Nation.
Last time I checked, I was.
That's right. Land acknowledgements do exactly nothing. We all know who we stole the land from. It's been like 200 years. So tonight, you have the opportunity to not be useless white people. Evan's gonna go around with this hat and you can put money in it. Take direct action. Go on, Evan.
Also, just a quick note, half the funds will be going to the Montana BIPOC Fund, which helps support directly indigenous folk, people of color, and queer folk. And if you do not have any cash, no need to fear. We've got the Venmo here at Evan Smith 420.
I'll put that just straight down the lens, right in front of the camera. All right, and there's people already getting out their wallets. Fantastic. Thank you for your support of the Montana BIPOC Mutual Aid Fund. Fantastic. We're having a nice time. And while you are murmuring, and wow, you're all getting out your wallets, that's really nice. Wow, Missoulians are generous of spirit. Great, we've improved over 200 years. Other things of note, housekeeping, I'm happy to say, and making up for lost time, that we're joined tonight in the cast by Missoula's not only 2021 Missoulian Best Musician, but Best Actor, Stephen Clement. Give it up for Stephen in the back! I have to do that because Stephen's great, and he doesn't like recognition. Fantastic. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's other things to say before we begin our show. It's a modernized take on Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. So, you know, you may have noticed that these chairs are not from Renaissance Italy. They are, in fact, from 2021 Nonprofit Arts Community Center offices. So there's that. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of laughter. Don't be afraid to, have big emotional responses to the things. If you see something funny, cackle like a jackal. If you see someone just being an absolute bastard, hint, Don John the bastard, then you can feel free to boo and hiss and make them feel like a terrible human being.
Can we get Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, you know, there might be Rotten Tomatoes with Robert at the bar. I think that's probably everything that I can say, though, at this point. So, without further ado, I give you Much Ado About Nothing.
I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Missoula.
Ah, he's very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, not a name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a Florentine called Claudio.
He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. Very cool.
He hath an uncle here in Missoula who will be very much glad of it.
I've already delivered him letters. There appears much joy in him.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than it is to joy at weeping.
I pray you, Signor Monsanto returned from these wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Ow! He's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
He set up his bills here in Missoula and challenged Cupid at the flight. My uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed as Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. But I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good work in these wars, lady.
You had musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He has an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, well, we're on the way.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if you have enough wit to keep himself warm, let him bear the difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth that he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. I pray you, who is his new companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Oh, it's very easily possible. He wears his faith as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next flock.
I can see, lady, that the gentleman is not in your books.
No. Anywhere I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his new companion? Is there no young squire now that will make the voyage with him to the devil?
Yes, he is in the companionship of the right noble Claudio.
God, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence when Taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds ere it be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro's approach.
Good Signor Leonato, you have come to meet your trouble. It is the fashion of the world to avoid cost, and yet you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
My mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict! No, but then you were a child.
Ooh, you have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be your father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Missoula is like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible courtesy could die when she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy and self-conversion disdain when you were in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women, else they would be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood that I am of your humor for that, for I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than hear a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
You always end with the jade's trick. I know you of old.
Excuse me, that's the sum of all, Leonato. Ah, Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays that some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together. You won't touch my sword later.
Come on. Sorry.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant of their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too foul for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and, being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet, without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intention to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Oh, is it come to this? Shall I not see one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, in faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would, your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Oh, you hear, Count Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. Ooh, now, that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so were it uttered.
It's like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
By my two faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die at the stake.
Thou wilt die an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
Never could maintain his force when departed his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have her a cheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. For I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with hunger, with sickness, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood than I will get again with drinking, pick out my knives with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the back and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted. And, in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire, let them signify, under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn man.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout your old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may not do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it, but how? And thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I had looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left the places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires. Oh, prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Oh, how sweetly you do minister to love, that no love's grief by his complexion, but lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and I will tell fair Hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom all unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine.
Another day in the life of a bastard.
Boo!
Conrad! What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad? There is no measure in the occasion that breathes. Therefore, the sadness is without limit. You should hear reason. And when I have heard it, what blessings brings it? If not the present remedy, at least a patient sufferance. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach and tend at no man's business. Sleep when I am drowsy and wait for no man's leisure. And laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor. Yeah, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest. I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from many. And this, though, I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man. Let it not be denied. I am a plain dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me. Oh, can you make no use of your discontent? I make all use for it, for I use it only. Who goes there? What news, Horatio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can offer you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A most proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, young hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march chick. And how came you to this?
Oh, well, being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes to me, the prince and Claudio hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the heiress, and there it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, come, let us tether. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. There cheers the greater that I am subdued. Shall we go to prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Very nice.
Are we waiting?
Let's go. Oh, I have to get my shoes.
Stop Count John here at supper.
Well, I saw him not. How charmingly that gentleman looks. I never can see him but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You were an excellent man, but he made just midway between himself and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing. And the other is too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
In half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
And with a good leg and with a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, that will never get thee a husband if thy be so shrewd of thy tongue.
Oh, in faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Well, just if he sends me no husband. For the which blessing I am upon my knees every morning and evening. For I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
And what would I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth, he is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I would rather take 6 pence in earnest with the bear ward and lead his apes into hell.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
No. Not until God makes man of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a pierce of valiant dust? No, uncle, I'll none. I have sons of my brethren, and truly I find it a sin to match my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the French do solicit you in this kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you are not wooed in good time. For if the prince be too important, tell him that there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a sync pace. The first suit is hot and hasty as a Scotch jig, and is full and is fantastical. The wedding, mannerly, modest as a measure, and full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, with his bad legs, falls into the sync pace faster and faster, faster and faster, faster and faster,
Hey.
faster and faster.
Hey, Beatrice!
Until he sinks into the grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, Uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
Ah, the revelers are coming. Brother, make good room.
Make me want to dance. Oh, it's such a romance. Oh, I look into your eyes. Oh, best days of our lives. Leonato, this place is huge.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
Oh, so you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
Ooh, with me in your company.
Oh, I may say so when I please,
And when please you to say so.
when I like your favor. For God defend the loot should be the case.
Well, my visor is Philemon's roof, and within the house is Joe.
Why then nine visors should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak loud.
Oh, dear God. Why would you like me?
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers out loud.
Oh, I love you the better.
Oh,
The hearers may cry amen.
oh God. Match me with a good dancer?
Amen.
Okay. Oh my God, I just took like 4 shots.
Now I have to pee.
Oh, me too. Should we go together?
Oh, yeah, we should totally go together. And you know what else we should do? We should get a cigarette, Ursula.
Has a cigarette?
Who's got a cigarette?
Beatrice.
That bitch always has a cigarette. Beatrice!
I know you well enough. You are Senor Antonio.
Not a word, I am not.
Ooh, I know you by the waggling of your head.
Well, to tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You can never do him so ill well unless you are the very man. Here's his dry hand, up and down. You are he. You are he.
Had a word, I am not.
Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Could virtue hide itself? Go to, mommy. You are he. Virtue will appear, and there's an end.
Oh, God's out there.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful and that I got my good weight out of 100 merry tales. This was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Has he never made you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Well, he's the prince's jester. A very dull fool, only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. His commendation lies not in his wit, but rather in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and they beat him. I'm sure we were in the fleet. That's what reported me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll break a comparison or two on me, no doubt. Which, peradventure, not mocked or laughed at, will strike him into melancholy. But then a partridge wing is saved, because the poor fool eats no supper that evening.
What are you doing?
Finally!
You're inside?
Yeah,
Dancing, obviously, come on.
Nay, if
Ooh, you can really dance.
Gee, Claudio, you turn your heel like a good dancer. Wow, your breath smells awful. You are super dehydrated. Please drink some water. All right, yeah, you just drink that for a second. Oh, hi guys, how's it going? Oh, the friar sign fell down. Oh, by the way, this is a play on Monks, which is a bar here at Messina. Jokes are funnier when you explain them. Yeah, friars. It was really funny. I came up. How did you finish that so quickly? Here, drink more. Don't think right now. Come on, please. All right, and then just again, a show of hands if you're following the plot so far. All right, about half of you. Hey, that's good enough. That's what I'm here for in the aside. Okay, so just to be clear, this guy and his best friend and his boss came to town to be with his boss's best friend to stay there for a while. They thought that like the daughter and the niece of the boss were like really pretty, so like he's flirting with the blonde one, and his best friend is like obviously in love with the one with the dark hair, the pixie cat. It's like a whole thing. We'll probably get together by the end. And Tom, I'm not giving you more water. Okay. Up to speed. Great. Back into character.
Sure, my brother is a Morrison hero, and I would draw her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his Mary.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well, I indeed.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you to dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man anyway.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I. Before you would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, let all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melt hold in the blood. This was an accident of outward proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Get Claudio!
Yeah, sing.
Come! You go with me.
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your business, County. Come! What fashion will you wear the garland of? Under your neck, like a usurer's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish enjoy it.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drovier. So they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like a blind man. 'Twas the boy who stole your meat, and you'll be deposed.
If it will not be, I leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges, for that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me, the prince's fool. Ha! Yeah, I may go under that title because I am married. I am apt to do myself wrong, but I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that so puts the world into her person and gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may. Now, did you see the count? Where is he? Doth my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up abroad as worthy to be whipped.
Shall be whipped?
What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a twas the transgression?
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
Hey, the Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her said she is much wronged by you.
She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man in a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, she would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam bad left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules turn spit. Yeah, and have cleft his club to make the fire too. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose, because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service now to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker here from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch a hair off the great champ's beard. Rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy, you have no employment for me.
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Yes, senor. I'm getting good use to for it. He lets it be a while. My double heart for a single one. Very once before he wanted me a false dice. Therefore you may well say that I have lost it.
Well, you would put him down, lady. You would put him down.
So I would not do what you would do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. God has brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
How now, Claudio? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, ain't we?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as a lord. Something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazing to be true. Though, I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio. I have wooed fair hero in thy name, and I broke with her father and his goodwill obtained. Name, day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Counts, take me of my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and in grace say amen to it.
Well, speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. As you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Well, speak, cousin. And if you could not stop his mouth with a kiss, that he may speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart. Oh, we should turn around.
Indeed, my lord. I thank it, for it keeps me on the windy side of care. My cousin says in his ear that it is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin!
Good lord, for alliance! Thus goes everyone in the world, and I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry hey-oh for a husband.
Lady Lady Beatrice, I will get thee a husband.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid can come by them.
Lady, will you have me?
Oh my God. No, my lord. Not unless I have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech you, my lord, forgive me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. To be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, for my mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins. Cousins. Come on, go. Here. Oh my God. God give you joy.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but for when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I've heard my daughter say, she hath often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure hear tell of a husband.
By no means. She mocks all of her wars of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
My lord! Oh, my lord! If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad. No!
County Claudio, when mean you go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just the 7 nights, and a time too brief to have all things answer in mind.
But
Come, you shake the head at so long of breathing. But I warn thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dilly by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it imagined, doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
I am for you, my lord, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
and I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I'll do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopeless husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin that she may fall in love with Signor Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me and I will tell you my drift. Love gods! Love gods! Love gods! Love gods!
It is so. Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yeah, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be municipal to me. I am sick into pleasure to him, and whatsoever comes to thwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to hero.
I remember.
Well, I can, in any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to remain at the mistress's chamber window.
What light is in that to be the death of this marriage?
Well, the poison of that lies within you to temper. Go you to the prince, your brother. Spare not to tell him that you know that he has wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up. To a contaminated scale, such a one as hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Well, proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meat hour to draw Don Pedro and Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal to both the prince and Claudio, as in for the love of your brother's honor, who had made this match, and for his friend's reputation, who is so like to be cozened by the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, Margaret turn me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I shall so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy will be called assurance and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this what adverse issue it can. I will put it into practice. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be constant in your accusation, and my cunning will not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Yes. I'm gonna go see them.
I do much wonder how one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by failing in love. And such a man as Claudio, I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now he lies 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier, and now is he turned orthography. His words are very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted to see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he will never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color please God. So. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the armor. Come, shall we hear this music?
Yeah, my good lord. Still the evening is hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Yeah, my good lord. The music ended, go fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Tax not so a bad voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face to his own perfection. I pray thee, sing, and let me woo no more.
Ah, well, because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Now pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Well, note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting. Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot at sea and one on shore. So one thing conquered never. Then sigh not so, but let them go and be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe, 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 woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Sing no more, ditty, sing no more. Of dust so dull and heavy, the fraud of man was ever so. Since summer first was leafy, then sigh not so, but let them go and see.
Hey, very dost thou here, Claudio. I pray thee, get us some excellent music. For tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
Yes, I can, my lord.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you were told me of today? That, the Lady Beatrice is in love with Signor Benedict?
Fate for both well, this fish will bite. Well, effects, my lord. She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed. Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
It is true, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she when she is beginning to write to him. For she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
That when she had writ it, and was reading it over, she found Beatrice and Benedict between the sheets. Oh, that! Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence. Railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him. If he writ to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
It were good that Benedict know of this by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, he were an alms to hang him. She were an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
She is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she should make one breath of her accustomed crossness.
Yea, she doth well if she make tender of her love. 'Tis very possible he'll scorn it. The man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
If you fear God, I must necessarily keep the peace. But if you break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God. Howsoever it seems on in him by some large jests he will make. I'm sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Oh, never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord, dinner is ready. Will you walk?
If he do not go on her abundance, I will never trust my expectation.
Claudio, let us send her to fetch him in for dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive that love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair, is the truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but by my troth, for loving me. It is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument to her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I should die a bachelor, I didn't think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am bid to send you come into dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more thanks in those pains than it took for you to thank me. If it were been painful, I wouldn't have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yeah, just so much as you may take upon a knife when choke a doll withal.
Oh!
You have no stomach, senor. Very well.
Ha! Against my will, I bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that.
Oh, we're not done.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, good Margaret, yes. Run thee to a parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice. Whisper in her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard and our whole discourse is of her. Say that thou overheardst us and bid her to steal into the pleached bower to listen our purpose. This is thy office, bear thee well in it and leave us alone. Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be of how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is Cupid's little crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. No, truly, Ursula. She is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them if they loved Benedict to wish him wrestle with affection and never let Beatrice know of it.
But why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice doth couch?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice.
I am sure. Therefore, certainly, it were not good that Beatrice know of it, lest she make sport of his love.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would laugh me out myself, press me to death with wit. So therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs and waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with marks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Let's tell her of it and see what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passions.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Senior Benedict, for shape, for bearing, for argument and valor, goes foremost in your port through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Oh, why, tomorrow, every day. Come, go in, I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's blind, I warrant you, madam. We have caught her.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some cupids kill with arrows and some with traps. Gotcha, bitch!
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Will contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu, for no glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict? Love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. You're not gonna learn.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I towards Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company. For from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut the Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. What his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Oh, gallants, I am not as I have been.
Oh, so say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There is no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Oh, yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy he hath to strange disguises, as to be a Dutchman today and a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once, a German from the waist downwards, all sloths, or a Spaniard from the hip upwards, no doublet, unless he hath a fancy to this foolery, as it appears he hath. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, then there is no believing old signs. Brushes his hat o' mornings, what should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, conclude. He is in love.
Nay, nay, nay. But I know who loves him.
Ooh, that would I know too, I warrant. One that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
Oh, she shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet this is no charm for the toothache. Old senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother. God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private,
If it pleases you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
what's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediments, I pray you, discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by which I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and to dearness of heart, hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell, in circumstance short, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero? Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal? The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow, wed her. But it better befits your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
But trust not that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have heard more and seen more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed in thy name to obtain her, I will join with you to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther until you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned!
O mystery, strangely thwarting.
O plague right well prevented, so you will say when you have seen the sequel.
you good men and true?
Yeah, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that would be a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
Ah, first, who think you the most desertless man to be constable of the watch?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can read and write.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read, that comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable.
You have, I knew would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks and make no boast about it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there's no need for such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable to watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vigor men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of them, but let them go. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
Oh, if they will not stand, they are none of the prince's subjects.
True! And you are spelled with not both the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable, not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than to talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
You speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you would have called out all the alehouses and those that are drunk. Get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Well then, take no note of it. Let them alone till they are sober, and if they give you not then a better answer, say they're not the men you took them for.
Well, sir, why don't we...
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, lest you meddle or make with them, the more for your honesty.
Well, if we know him to be a thief, should we not lay hands on him?
True, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch be defiled. The most peaceful way for you, if you do take a thief, is let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your countrymen.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
True. I will not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
Ooh. If you hear a child cry out in the night, you must call the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying, for the ewe that will not hear a lamb when it baws will not answer a calf when he bleats.
It is very true.
This is the end of your charge. You, constable, are present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince at night, you may stay him.
By a lady, I think they cannot.
Well, 5 shillings to 1 off, with any man who knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is offense to stay any man against his will.
By a lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And if there be any matter of weight chances, call at me. Keep your fellows' counsel and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we have our charge. Let us sit here upon the church bench until 2, and then all to bed.
Oh, sorry. One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch of us in your Leonato's door. The wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace! Stir not!
Conrad, I say!
Here, man. I am at thy elbow.
Yes, my elbow itched. But a scab would follow.
I will over thee an answer for that. Now,
penthouse for a drizzle's brain. And I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters. Yet, stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy could be so rich. For when rich villains are in need of poor ones, the poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Oh, I chose that thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
But I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
I should rather say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that before. I've been a vile thief this 7 year. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Dost thou not hear somebody?
No! 'Twas the vein on the house.
Oh. Well, seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30. Sometimes fashioning them like the fair soldiers in the Ricci painting. And sometimes like the god Bell's priest in the old church window. And sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched, worm-eaten tapestry where his cod piecing's as massy as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy too with the fashion for having shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither. But know that tonight I have wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's waiting gentlewoman by the name of Hero. Leans me out of the chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vile. I should first tell you how the Prince Claudio, my master, planted and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero?
Well, 2 of them did. The Prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew that she were Margaret. And partly by its oaths, which did first possess them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged. Swore he would meet her the next morning as he was appointed at the temple, and there, before all the congregation, shame her with what he saw o'ernight and send her away again without a husband.
We charge you!
Jesus.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand! We call up the right master constable. We have uncovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever to be known in the Commonwealth.
And the one deformed is one of them. I know him. I wears a lock.
Masters!
You will be made to bring the deformed forth, I warrant you.
Speak not. We charge you to obey us to go with you. Yeah.
We will prove a goodly commodity to be taken up with these men's bills.
A commodity in question. Come, we'll obey you.
Get.
That way.
That way.
Come on.
Which one do you think I should wear?
Maybe the gold one?
The gold?
No, it doesn't go out with the others. No, it doesn't go out with the others.
Oh, good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
Oh. Okay, well. Oh, good. Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good. And I warned your cousin will say so.
Oh, good morrow, cuz. do you speak in a sick tune?
I'm out of all the tunes, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. My troth, I am exceedingly ill.
These gloves the Count gave me are of an excellent perfume.
I cannot smell, cousin. I am stuffed.
Get you some of this distilled herb, Cardus benedictus. Place it to your heart. It's the only thing for a qualm.
There thou, prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Do you take some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? By my troth, no moral meaning. I simply meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think that you are in love. Nay, by lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor do I list to think what I can, nor I cannot think. That I could think myself out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you could be in love, or that you will be in love. Yet, Benedict was such another, and now he is mad. He swore he would never marry, and now, in spite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be so converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace does thy tongue keep?
Oh, not false, Gallo.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, the bastard formerly known as Don John, Jason Funderburger, Legface Macaulay, Jake from State Farm, Frederick from the County, Calvin and Hobbes, Lord Voldemort, Gandalf, Albus Dumbledore, Mario and Luigi, Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, and Senior Benedict on his last brain cell, and all the other gals of the town have come fetch you go to church.
Oh, help me to dress, good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula, Lord Voldemort!
It's a crowd.
What would you have of me, honest neighbors?
Nay, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Well, brief, I pray you. As you can see, it is a busy time for me.
Oh, very, sir, that it is, sir.
Yes.
In truth, it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Good man Burgess, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were.
Yes. I thank God I am as honest as any man living, that is, an old man and no honester than I.
Oh, comparisons are odorous. Pull out, my neighbor Burgess. Oh, yep.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It may please your worship to say so, but we are the portage officers. But truly, for my own part, I cannot be so tedious as a king.
All thy tediousness on me, then, eh?
I be but a poor man.
So am I.
Neighbors, I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship, has taken a couple of errant knaves as any in Missoula.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take your examination thyself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragans.
Fare you well.
Burgess, we answer examination of these men.
Yes. And we must do it wisely.
We shall spare for no wits, I warrant you. Come, Friar Francis. Be brief.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
That's a joke about grammar and tense. You come hither, my lady, to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know of any inward impediments why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Father, by your leave, will you give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
Well, then, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend.
okay.
Behold how she
Orange
blushes
is fine.
here. Her blush is guiltiness.
What do you mean, my lord?
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored.
Are these things spoken? Or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Oh, God defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blotch that name with any just reproach?
Marry that can hero. Hero itself can blotch out hero's own virtue. What man was he that talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1?
I was with no man at that hour, my lord.
Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour talk with a ruffian at her chamber window.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, but fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell.
Oh, shit! Oh!
Come, let us go.
Wait.
These things come thus to light.
Wait.
Smother her spirits.
Wait, how doth the lady?
Well, dead, I think. Uncle, Senor Benedict. Friar!
Oh, fate, take not thy heavy hand.
Have comfort.
Wherefore?
By my soul, my husband's blood.
I was with no one at that hour. Oh, God.
There is some strange misprison in the princess.
If their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in John the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
Pause a while. Your daughter, the princess here left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
What will this do?
Well, when Claudio hears that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination. Then shall he mourn if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. I don't know, I'm a friar in a Shakespeare play. Things go wrong, I fake a girl's death.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
Well, I don't appreciate being called the smallest twine. Come, lady. Die to live. Have patience and endure. It means let's go put that coffin for you, sweetie. All right, great. Now, where in the family crypt shall we put you? Do you want to be next to your mom?
Oh.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yeah, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do so freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Oh, what might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It's a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in this world so well as you. Is not that strange?
A stranger thing I know not. It were just as possible for me to say that I love nothing in this world so much as you. But believe me not, though I lie not. I confess nothing, though I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised, to it I protest, I love thee.
Well, I protest that I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Ooh, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Ha! Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Very well.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
No, I am gone. And yet I am here. Nay, there is no love in you. I pray you, let me go.
What is Claudio thine enemy?
He hath slandered, he hath scorned, he has dishonored my kinswoman. Oh, if I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wrong, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice!
I will die, a woman with grieving.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yeah, so much as I have a heart and a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
Well, which are the ones that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Oh yeah. Horatio.
Pray write down Horatio. Yours, Zero?
My name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman
Conrad.
Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should come before such villains. Masters, it is already proved that you're a little better than false knaves, although near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Nay, sir, we say we are not.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come hither, Sirrah. A word in your ear.
Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Well, I say to you, sir, that we are none.
Oh, well, stand aside, for God. They're both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way of examination. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Oh, yeah, Mary, that's the Eptis way.
Yes.
Let the watch come forth. Oh, yep. Masters, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
I heard this gentleman here call Don John, the prince's brother, a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. That's flat perjury to call the prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
I pray thee, fellow peace, I do not like thy look. I promise thee.
What heard you him say, else fellow?
Mary, that he earned 1,000 ducats of Don John to accuse the lady hero wrongfully.
Oh, flat burglaries I was committed. That by mass it is.
What else, fellow?
That Count Claudio, upon his words, does mean to disgrace the lady hero in front of the whole assembly.
Thou villain, thou shalt be condemned to everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
That is all.
And this is more, masters, that you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, and in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato, as I will go before and show him their examination. Oh my God, fucking stand.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hand.
No! Coxcomb!
Once, my lord, where's the sexton? Write down Prince's officer Coxcomb. Come bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
An ass? Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that you are here to write me down an ass. But, masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. Now, thou villain, thou full piety shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, a pretty a piece of flesh as any in the zoo. And one that knows the law, go to. And a rich fellow not, go to. A fellow that hath had losses, and hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away, that I have been rid down an ass. Ah!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee peace. I will be flesh and blood, for there was never yet philosopher that could endure the toothache patiently. However, they have writ the style of gods and made a push at chance and sufferance.
Yet then not all the harm against yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakst reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me heroes belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and to all of them that thus dishonor her.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Oh, some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself a quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never lie thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Well, Mary, beshrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child in me that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, to challenge thee to a trial of man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept. Save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I
You
say.
say not right, old man.
My lord, My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and active practice, his May of youth and bloom of a lusty hood.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so doubt me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
Gentlemen, both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but upon mine honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
No. Come, brother. Away. I will be heard.
And shall. Or some of us will smart for it.
Come, see, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord. Come, senor, you are almost come apart, almost a fray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off with two old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother? What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there can be no true valor. I came to seek you both.
Oh, well, we have been up and down to seek thee. For we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I bid thee draw as we do the minstrels.
Draw it to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, you look pale. Art thou angry?
What courage, man? What thou care killed a cat, thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career you charged against me.
I pray you choose another subject.
Nay then, give him another staff. This last was broke across.
Huh. By my light, he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
Oh, God bless me from the challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make a good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I'll protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so that I may have good cheer.
What, a feast? A feast?
I beg him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, I'll say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well, it goes easily.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, and that she did, but yet for all that, if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All, and moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
When shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yeah, and text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jest as braggarts do blades, which God be thanked, hurt not.
My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard has fled from Missoula. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady, and for my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. And until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest,
In most profound earnest, and I warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
and hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes off in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape. But then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did not he say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall in our way no razors on her balance. Nay, you being a cursing hypocrite once.
You must be looked to. How now? My brother's man bound? Horatio?
Organ after his offense, my lord.
Officer, what has this man done?
Marry, sir, he have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they're lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, what they are committed. and to conclude what you laid to their charge.
Damn straight. Rightly reasoned, and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
What offense have you committed, master, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince. Let me go no further in mine answer. Do you hear me and let this count kill me? For I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to Don John, your brother, who incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in the hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I would rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yeah, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Oh, no.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is on this villainy.
The image doth appear in that rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiff. By this time, our sexton hath informed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Yeah, you did. Here comes Master Signor Leonato.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you know you're wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath has killed mine innocent child?
Yeah, and even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you but think you of it.
I know not how to pay your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose to me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet I sinned not but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old man, I will bend under any heavy weight that he'll entreat me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. I pray you both tomorrow morning come to my house, since you cannot be my son-in-law, but yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my daughter that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you ought to have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir. Your overcoming sovereign tears from me.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe is packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me.
And moreover, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, to call me ass.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Oh, your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth. I praise God for you.
There she let pains.
Oh, God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
Ah, I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God God prohibit it. Here, come, David.
Until tomorrow morning, my lords. Farewell.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I will mourn with Hero.
Bring you this fellow one. We'll talk with Margaret. How her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
It says, here lies Hero, cause of death, Claudio. Hello again, everybody. And again, show of hands if you followed the plot. Okay, a good enough number of you. Let me address the gambit directly. So just to be clear, he fell in love with her, and then he was lied to by Don Giant saying that she was a whore or something, which you know is like an unpleasant sort of thing. There's all kinds of stuff. Anyway, we faked her death, and he thinks they smell like her? That's not her Missoula, 2021. Great. So he thinks that she's dead and buried behind the bar. It's not a bar in his mind because we're allowing for a little bit of suspension to just the late. They're really sad right now, but don't worry, this is one of the comedies, which means it'll end in a wedding. Yeah, you're right to tell them to shut up. Just tell them to suck it up. Everyone tell them suck it up. Suck it up.
Get over it.
Yes.
Check, 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 check. Well, that was sad. So in the meantime, I just need to workshop some poetry real quick, so I'm just going to... Ooh, that's nice. The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving, Leander the good swimmer, Troilus, first employer of panders, and a whole book full of these quantum carpet mongers, whose names yet run smoothly in the blank road of an even verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. So, in the meantime, this will have to do. Oh, sweet Beatrice! Was thou done what I called thee?
Yeah, senor. The department you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Well, then is spoken. Very well.
Oh.
And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Oh, foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its very describe him a coward. Now, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good parts to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Therefore, serve God, love me, and mend, for I will too. For here comes one in haste!
Daughter, you must come to your uncle's. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved that our lady hero has been wrongfully accused. The prince and Count Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes, and moreover I will go with thee to thy uncle's. Woo! Go! Bombshell!
What?
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her.
And so mine, being else enforced by faith to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw to a chamber by yourselves. And when I send for you, come hither, masked. Yeah. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. Brother, you know your office. You must be father to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat thy pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Truth it is, Signor Leonato, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
Then I, my daughter, Winter, 'tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
From sight you had whereof, from me, from the prince and Claudio, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but for my will is your goodwill may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, for which, friar, I shall desire thy help.
Yeah! My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Oh, here comes the prince and Count Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. Are you yet determined today to marry my brother's daughter?
I hold my mind were she an antelope.
Brother, bring her forth. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter? You have such a February face, so full of frost, of storms, and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull left your father's cow and got a calf in the same feat, much like to you, for you have just as bleat.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she is mine. Sweet. Let me see your face.
Whoa, no.
That you shall not. So you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero? The hero that's dead?
She died, my lord, and whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely a fair hero's death. Quotations death. Meanwhile, that wonder seemed familiar. And led us to the chapel presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
Ah, I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudia were deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
Druff, no. No more than reason.
Well, then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear that you did.
They told me you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No. Truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
Oh, and I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a letter written in his own hand, a halting sign of his own poor brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict. Gotcha, bitch!
A miracle! Here's her own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this light, I take thee for pity.
I will not deny you. But no, by this good day, I yield upon great persuasion. And partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop your mouth.
Nice. How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
In brief, since I do propose to marry, I will say nothing to any purpose that can be said against it. Therefore, never flout me for what I have said against it, for man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I had well hoped that thou wouldst have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have music afterwards.
First of my word, therefore, play music, prince. Thou art sad.
Hold on.
What? Actually?
Yeah, you just wait.
Every night. It's the line.
We're so fucking close.
What? Idiot. The prince's brother, taken in flight and brought with our men back to Missoula.
Where's Jan?
Taken this.
Yeah, what's up? What do you do? Yeah, I'll do it. My lord! Your brother, Don John, is taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Missoula.
Think not of him till tomorrow. I'll devise the brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!